Hello folks, and welcome to the deck of Tall Ship Providence. Today we are going to be continuing our series on traditional sailor crafts with a fun story and what is quite frankly a parlor trick. The story goes that there's a young woman who wants to marry a sailor. He wants to marry her, but her father does not approve. He wants the girl to marry someone with a respectable job security, and wants her to marry the local clerk. And in order to orchestrate this and appeal to the sailor's ego, he plans out a contest to see who can tie the most overhand knots in very small string in 1 minute, the sailor or the clerk. They do this because sailors, A, don't use very small string very often, and we generally disdain and abhor overhand knots, because that is the knot your line ties itself in when you don't want it to. So the day of the contest comes and the timer starts and the clerk starts furiously tying overhand knots, and the sailor very calmly stands there and starts taking his string and half hitching it onto his thumb. The girl is distraught because she thinks that this means the sailor does not desire to marry her after all and is trying to get out of it. And the clerk thinks he's won, and as the time gets down to 0, the sailor takes the end of his string, passes it through the stack of overhand knots, of half hitches on his hand, and pulls the end of the string from the stack, producing a string of overhand knots all at once, which he ties into a necklace and gifts to his beloved. Now, this is a super fun craft. It's very simple, it's very quick. We are filming this right before Christmas, so you could use it as a Christmas garland if you had a nautically themed Christmas decor, but we realized that this will air after Christmas, so nautically themed Valentine's Day. So there are a couple of variations on this. You can tie figure 8 knots instead of overhand knots, and the way you do that is simply by adding another twist. We are going to film up close how to tie this knot and how to do the craft, and the story is really up to you. You want to continue doing half hitches until you run out of reasonable quantities of string. You will then pass the end of your string through the half hitches on your hand. On the other side, you will grab the end of the string and gently kind of pull on the end so that your string ties itself into a string of overhand knots that you can use for whatever decorative purposes you choose to. So I'm going to show you another variation wherein you get figure 8 knots. So instead of twisting the string once and placing it on your thumb, we're going to give it an extra twist and then place it on your hand. Do that again until you run out of string, or get bored with it, I guess. Let's do one more, perhaps 2. See if we can't get this done before the planes come back. So you take the string and pass it once again through the hitches on your hand, sort of gently. And then again, you kind of cradle it. This one is a little more difficult because you are trying to move more string around, so you may have to sort of help it along by jimmying it a bit, but there we go. We've got our figure 8s. They're very nautical. You can hang them on your mantelpiece, and that is our sailor craft for today. All right, folks, that is our craft lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming and visiting us here on the deck of the Providence for Tall Ship Tuesday, and we hope you will come see us next week.